So it's definitely another cold one today. But still got my compost going. A little different now because the side compost pile I had before, I've used it to put in the garden beds to get those ready for the winter. So you may be wondering, well, what in the world are you doing with that compost now? Well, I'm fixing to show you. So like I said, during the winter time, I don't have the big compost pile I normally have during the summertime where I put that extra compost at. So what I do is I put it in my garden, and I just make sure that I'm digging deep enough to where I'm not worried about the chickens getting to it. I bury it up and then throw the dirt back over along with the hay. Works out, that's a win-win. Then my garden bed benefits from it anyway. Bonehead. There we go. That's right. Empty off. This is especially the time you need to be putting the corn out for the chickens. Because of the fact that corn helps fatten them up, helps keep them warm during the winter time. So you can kind of slack off with the corn during the summertime for a multitude of reasons. Because they're getting all they need from the feed and from the ground. But especially during the winter time when things are kind of slacking off and you don't have a lot of the grubs around anymore, which is why they have to forage in a much bigger area. And they don't have the grass around to eat. So in the wintertime, they really need that corn. I know what you want, chickens. I know what you want. I know what you want, chickens. Yeah. Y'all waiting, ain't you? Y'all waiting? Yeah, it's coming. Just hold your horses. You ready, chickens? So we got another fun-filled day at ducks chasing the rabbits. Now mind you, it's sprinkling, so it's got some drizzle going on, and today none of them act like they care. Here's my 3 gardeners at work. Can't beat that with a stick. Crazy animals. Like I told you before, puppies. It's crazy. There's no more in these garden beds, by the way. Done a good job. I can't complain about that. Here's the rabbits. They're out doing their foraging during the day. And the ducks. Let me see the ducks. By the way, I don't think the ducks really knew how to forage well until they got around them chickens, to be honest. The ducks just kind of ate their feed and that was it. And once the ducks started getting around the chickens and saw what the chickens were doing, that's when they kind of figured out what they should be doing, and now they're hunting for grubs every day now and fattening up big time. So that was definitely a win-win. Okay, as you can tell, it's monsooning today, so any outside stuff today is pretty much out. Of course, the crazies are all still out there. They're acting a fool, running around. They don't seem to care, especially the ducks. Ducks really don't care, but I can't believe the chickens are actually out in it, but they are. They're tearing that stuff up. But I'm starting to run low on apple cider vinegar, so I think time to make a big batch. Okay, it's pretty simple. Nothing complicated about it. I just kind of cut them up into those size chunks. And all I'm going to do is just kind of keep in mind how many apples that I'm using, because generally what you want to do is you want about a teaspoon of sugar for every apple that you use. Now some people have said that, well, why don't you just use honey? Well, unfortunately, honey just doesn't seem to work as well as regular old plain sugar does. It takes twice as long for it to actually make, and it's not really as strong. Now the exact reasons behind why it's not as strong, I have no idea, but it's not. So just gonna finish cutting these up, put them all in here, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, so what we ended up with was a total of 6 apples. So we just need 6 heaping teaspoons of sugar. Alright. And that's primarily what the bacteria that's forming, that's what it's going to eat in order to form and build that vinegar. So you got to have the sugar. Some people have said that they don't use sugar, but it's going to take 3 to 4 times as long for it to actually make. But the other thing is, to kind of help it along, and you don't have to have this, but it does help, is the previous batch of apple cider vinegar. Take some and add right in there, just to kind of give that bacteria a good start. And that'll help it move right along. Then what I want to do is I just want those apples to make sure that it's good and covered. Alright. There's that. And I don't want those apples sticking out, so I'm just going to make sure they stay below the water line. Okay, and last but not least, we just kind of want this thing covered up. Although we want it to be able to breathe, because it's got those gases have got to escape. We just don't want, things kind of crawling into it. So that's kind of the best way to do that. The other thing is you're going to kind of want, the other thing you're going to kind of want to do is you're going to just got to come back and stir this thing like every 2 to 3 days. And you always want to make sure that those apples kind of stay below the water line, because you really don't want, if you start getting like black stuff forming on the fruit itself, then you probably have to chunk that stuff and start over. This is the most aggravating there, but what you don't want is you don't want it closed up where those gases kind of just build up inside, because those gases really do need to escape. So there we go. Got a good covering. That's ready to go. Now here's my water line, and that's what that bowl's in there for. It holds the apples down below the water line. So I'll come back and I'll stir it, keep checking it, and it generally will take about 4 weeks for it to actually form. So I'll just keep it in a nice dark place and just keep stirring it. And there's our next batch of apple cider vinegar. So let's take this stuff out and chunk it in the garden bed and let the chickens and the ducks tear it out the frame. Which, by the way, we did get the bananas and the apples from a friend of ours, Sarah. So, by the way, thanks, Sarah, for the apples and the bananas. We do appreciate it. The chickens definitely appreciate it. So let's give this to them. They'll love it. Okay, so that's it for today. Please like, subscribe, and share if you can. We do appreciate it. Any comments, suggestions, or whatever, put it below, and we'll answer it as quickly as we can. We do appreciate you watching. I guess that's it for today. See you next time. Thanks for watching. But even with it raining outside, you can still tell that those daggone chickens are still working my garden bed, so I can't complain about that. They are doing a good job, even in the pouring rain.